Very good morning to all my dear students. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we will go on chapter 2 on the subject of Islamic finance and banking, which this is a new subject. The government want it compulsory for all the students to take. Previously, we don't have this subject. It started about 2 semesters ago. So we have gone through the chapter 1. Today is for the chapter 2. All the detail of the syllabus is you can get it into your LMS for future chapter. That what are the chapter we're going to discuss. For today, the chapter is second chapter is the rules, regulation, and standards in Islamic banking and Takaful industry. Just to recap on the chapter 1, Islamic banking is the new banking system compared to the traditional banking, which is more than a few hundred years ago. And this Islamic banking now is an alternative to the conventional banking, and it's getting popular lately. So that's why this subject we need to teach you all students, because it will affect your daily life. That means it concerns you. It's not that for this knowledge is for the purpose of examination only, but it's for your daily use. Because the difference from the conventional banking and Islamic banking, so you can make a choice whether you want to use when you want to borrow money, whether you want to use the traditional or you want to use this new Islamic banking concept. So just to make it very clear that people sometimes misunderstood that again, to reiterate here, that Islamic banking system is not only for the Muslim or for Malays, for the Malay or for Malaysian only. Islamic banking system is a global banking system. Every other country, when you learn later on, they have also this Islamic banking system, not only in Malaysia. So Islamic banking system can be used by the Muslim and also the non-Muslim. That's why we are teaching this subject to everybody, not only to the people with the Islam religion. That's why those non-Islamic students also have to take this subject, because you also as a non-Muslim can also borrow this Islamic banking. So this is very important point. A lot of people thought that Islamic banking only for Islam people. And in general, in Malaysia, if you're talking about Islamic banking in the commercial sector, there are a lot of non-Muslim, or majority of the banking loan in the commercial sector are borrowed by non-Muslim borrower, not the Muslim people, because the commercial sector is controlled by a lot are controlled by the non-Muslims, especially the Chinese, the Europeans. So they use a lot of this Islamic banking, as they preferred through the traditional banking. As we teach you along, you can see the difference, and you can think maybe why people start changing to the Islamic banking system. Yeah. So that is a recap chapter 1 that you have learned. I did post forums, question in a forum. So you all try to answer and communicate each other also in the forum so that you can learn more from what we're teaching you. And you also can post in the forum what you don't understand, so that me and Madam Cheryl will give you answer, so to give you more understanding of the Islamic banking system. I'm not saying that this subject is a easy one, and I'm not saying so this subject is a difficult one. It's okay if you really follow from chapter 1 until the end, and you focus, you can easily understand what this is all about. It's not much of different from the traditional banking. It's only certain terms and certain rules and regulation only is what make it different. It's a banking. It's same like other banks. Yeah. So this is why I like you all to also participate in the forum or in the chat room among yourself, to ask each other, try to understand more about this Islamic banking, other than those videos from YouTube that I have selected, that I posted. You can watch it, and also there are books on the Islamic banking and notes also that I have uploaded. So all of this, if you have time to read, more than enough for you to understand on this Islamic banking or Islamic finance. When we talk about Islamic finance, it's including banking and insurance, or we call it here Takaful lah. Yeah. So we call it this subject Islamic finance, which comprise banking and the Takaful, or the insurance. Yeah. So that is things that you start now understanding a little bit deeper from those on chapter 1 that we just you have just gone through. Yeah. So for this chapter 2, the rules and regulation and standard in Islamic banking and Takaful. This one we have a lot of stuff for you to read, but we don't need for you to understand the whole thing, because for you as a diploma student, is a basic thing that you need to know. But we give you a lot of notes if you are interested to know deeper. If we give you very little notes, then it's difficult also for you to for those who you want to know more, to find the material. So we give quite a lot of material down in our LMS, which I believe there's no need for you to do other search in in the Google. But if you want to, please go ahead. What we provide here is more than enough, and more than what that you need to learn as a diploma student lah, because this is a basic thing for you to learn. Yeah. Okay. So we'll go for today lecture. Okay, sorry about that. So for today chapter 2, the learning objective, is important for all students to note when the start of the class, the lecturers mention about the learning objective, because this learning objective is what actually you need to learn for this chapter 2, and we are lecturing focus on this learning objective only. The rest you can read the notes for your additional information. So for learning objective, as been instructed with the government, we should have minimum 3 learning objective and maximum 5. That is the standard requirement by the Ministry of Education. So for today, I've listed down 4 learning objectives that we're going to lecture for your knowledge. Yeah. Number 1, to understand on the Islamic contract. Number 2, to understand concept of Shariah. Yeah. Number 3, to identify on Islamic banking and Maqasid Shariah. So we'll explain later what is mean Maqasid. It's just an Arab word. Yeah. And number 4, to learn on Takaful industry lah. Takaful is the word of insurance lah. In Islam, Islamic finance, we call it Takaful. Normal traditional, we call it insurance lah. Yeah. Okay, so that is the 4 learning objective that you're going to learn today. So it's not that much, If you can understand these 4 learning objectives at the end of the class, that's very good for you for this lesson 2. Not to worry, yeah. Okay. For introduction, there's a rapid development of Islamic finance activity all over the world. Yeah? London, as always, the center of what we call it, financial center of the world, has also introduced Islamic finance down there. Yeah. So as you can see, London is not a Muslim city, neither the UK is a Muslim city, but they are the center of Islamic banking in the world today. Because overall, London is a center of all financial activities in the world. Yeah? So this is why London become the center. Yeah? Followed in Asia, Hong Kong. Yeah? Hong Kong has also become a Islamic financial center in Asia. And America, New York has also grown up as a Islamic financial center in the American continent. Yeah? And here in Southeast Asia, Singapore also participate. And now Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, has become one of the major Islamic financial center. Other than in the Middle East, Dubai has become also the major of Islamic center. This is a little bit background that when I said to you that the Islamic financial center is not only for the Muslim, but for every people, every people in the world. Yeah. The permissibility of risky capital investment without explicit interest earning has merged the 3 basic forms of Islamic financing. Okay. Number 1, synthetic loans, which are debt-based through sales and repurchase. Number 2, lease contract. And number 3, profit sharing contract. So this is the 3 ways the Islamic finance operates, which will go detail on. This is just introduction. Yeah. So Islamic contract are normally asset based and it must be complied with Shariah. What is Shariah? Shariah mean here is the Islamic law. Where do you get this Shariah law? The Shariah law, we got it from the Quran. All the verses from the Quran, there are many things that you learn from the Quran, but one of them is the Shariah law on the financing part. So in the Quran, God reveals many things, but one section is on the financing, how financing should be done. Yeah. So that part of the Quran which discuss about financing, if we call it the Shariah law. Yeah. So that's what Shariah is all about, or we call it Islamic law lah. Yeah. So the main basic thing of the Shariah law, the main basic tenets of this Shariah law on financing. Yeah, we're talking here only on financing, not all over laws of marriage, everything in the Quran is a different one. Yeah, so we focus only on the Islamic financing only in this chapter. So the 4 basic principle of the Shariah law on Islamic finance is number 1, riba. That means there should no interest. When you borrow the conventional banking, they have interest. So the Islamic banking, there's no interest. Later on, we will learn without interest how the bank make profit. Number 2, gharar, uncertainty. So in Islamic banking, they should know uncertainty. For example, yeah, if you want to borrow the bank, you must know at the end of the day how much you have to pay the bank. For example, I borrow a bank 100,000 for buying a house. So after 20 years, how much total I should pay the bank? So in the Islamic banking, they will calculate it. Let's say I have to pay 120,000 the next 20 years. So the contract with the Islamic banking to buy the house is 120,000. That means plus they will give you 100,000 to buy the house, and the balance 20,000 is their profit for the next 20 years. But so it's certain. But in the commercial banking, there's not certain. Because when you borrow from the commercial banking, traditional banking, if you borrow 100,000, in the 20 years time, you're not sure whether you pay 120,000 or more. Because why? The interest fluctuate every month, every year of kind of thing. Because they charge on interest. Whereas the Islamic banking, there's no interest, they charge on profit. They calculate from the beginning, okay, I borrow you this money, 100,000, 20 years, with a profit of 2-3% a month, you have to pay me 120,000. So it's certain. You're going to pay any 1 cent extra. So that's why in Islamic financing, everything must be certain, not uncertainty, or in Islamic what they call it garar. Yeah. Third one, they must know maisir. What is maisir? Gambling. So Islamic finance, you cannot gamble. For example, in forex exchange, you buy the Malaysian ringgit $4 today. What you expect Malaysian ringgit will increase to 450. So you gamble. Maybe 6 months time, you think that the Malaysian ringgit will go to 450 to US dollar. So you buy now today $4. So you are gambling for the future. So in Islamic banking, this kind of situation, we call it gambling, or maisir, is not allowable. Not allowable. Or same like you buy lottery. Yeah, you buy sport toto. You go to the Genting Highland for gambling. It's all not permissible because it's under gambling or maisir, we call it. Yeah. And then the fourth one, another all non-halal activities. This is very general, very wide. For example, I can give you, you cannot buy and sell alcohol. Yeah, because alcohol is haram in Islam, so you cannot trade in alcohol. You cannot trade in arms supply, guns, which is prohibited by the law. So you cannot sell and buy guns. You cannot sell and buy drugs because drugs is prohibited in Islam, unless the drug is used for medicine. Yeah. So everything created by God is for good, but people misuse it, then it's become haram or it's not permissible. Drug is created for what? For medicine, but people abuse it, then become a lot of other things. So that's why trading in this drug can be non-halal, but is for purpose of medicine, is halal, can be used. Yeah. So these are the four base of Sharia Islamic finance. From there on, then we'll see the branches lah, which is much more. As I said, as a diploma student, these four basic principle you can understand is very good already. Then as you later on want to learn more, when you can take your degree or masters, then you can learn a lot more deeper on this Islamic finance, which is very interesting for those who want to learn further lah. Yeah. Okay. Next slide. So Sharia, as I said just now, is the Islamic law of human conduct, which govern business matters because of the provision of certain elements in the transaction. So certain element, as we said just now, the 4-1, non-halal, gambling, non-certainty, riba, these are the prohibition that we have just mentioned just now. Islamic banks have to develop financial product that conform to Sharia. So based on the 4 things that cannot be allowed, just now there is riba, garar, maisir, yeah, and non-halal. So now how the Islamic finance have to develop the financial product based on these four things that cannot be allowed. So these four things you can't do it in the Islamic banking. But as I said, you can do it through the non-Islamic banking lah. Yeah. So this is what the Shariah Islamic finance is all about. An Islamic bank will have the same product name as saving account. Denote Islamic mention case which is under the contract of either wadiah, second or mudarabah. So the name is different, but the concept is similar. Like your saving account in the commercial bank. Here we call it wadiah account. It's a saving account. Or mudarabah account, which is profit sharing. Yeah. So later on we learn if wadiah mean you just say keep the money, then there's no profit to give to you. At the end of the year, if there's a profit that we make, they will give you a little bit. But the other product, mudarabah, saving account, there's a profit sharing. Let's say you put 100,000, then you have the bank will agreement you from the day one you keep the money. Okay, from this have 100,000, we have a profit sharing. At the end of the year, if this profit from this 100,000 you keep in the bank, they invest it, they make 10,000, you take 7,000, the bank take 3,000. So there are many ways of negotiation between you and the bank. Yeah, but there's no specific income like you do in the commercial bank. Okay, we give you 3% interest for your saving for the whole year, then you get the 3%. But in Islamic banking, there's no fixed income. So if you are looking for really fixed income from your deposit, let's go to the commercial bank. But for a Muslim, they can't go it because they're giving the interest. So we have no alternative for the Muslim. If they want to keep the money as a deposit, saving deposit, they have to go to the Islamic finance because the money they gave from the profit is halal, whereas the interest they get from the commercial bank is haram. So this is where the problem are. Yeah. So make it easier for the Muslim who want to keep money now. They have the alternative. Either they want to go to the commercial bank or they will go to the Islamic bank, which the income under the profit sharing or whatever they give is halal. Yeah. So this is why this Islamic banking also introduced to make easier for the Muslim people have extra money to keep the money in the bank and they get the profit which is halal. Yeah. Compare before, if they still keep money in the bank, they get interest which is haram. So that's why before the Islamic banking, a lot of Muslim people, they keep money in the bank, traditional bank, they get interest which is haram, they cannot take it. So they take the interest and they go donate it to the poor or do charity. So that's what they can do with the interest they get it. Yeah. So that's how it worked before. Now they have alternative to use Islamic finances to keep their money. Okay, Islamic banking and Maqasid Shariah. What is Maqasid means? Maqasid mean in English goal or purposes. Tujuan lah, dalam bahasa Melayu tujuan. Yeah. So Maqasid mean is goal or purpose, or in bahasa Melayu tujuan. So don't worry about the word Maqasid is something that is weird you do. Nothing. It's just a tujuan or the purpose. So here the Maqasid of Islamic law highlight, or the tujuan of the Islamic law highlight rational, the rational purpose and common good in Islamic ruling, and stresses their importance while basing itself on the Islamic script and observing the Islamic faith. Yeah. So another Al-Ghazali has described it as important of preserving the well-being of people through safeguard of their faith and intellect and their posterity and their wealth. So this all what these people are saying is what I have mentioned just now. That means they are not to be involved in all the illegal activity, maisar or anything, but to protect themselves fall into all this kind of uncertainty. Yeah. So this is what the intellect have been talking. We just quote there, but it's not very important lah. It's just to talk about what is Maqasid just now is the meaning lah. Yeah. Okay, four main characteristics of Maqasid. So number one, the foundation of legislation with the purpose to act to the benefit of all human beings, preserving them from harm. So the first one, the Maqasid, they will have a rules or law that will preserve people from harm. Okay, what example I can give here? For example, yeah, if you borrow, simple example, because you are diploma, you don't need to know very high and difficult for you to understand. So for example, I borrow money from a bank, normal commercial bank, 100,000 ringgit to buy a house. So you working now, they allow you to borrow from the bank 100,000. You pay the bank back maybe 1,000 a month or 1,500 a month. And the loan is for 20 years. Okay, remember, yeah, you borrow the money for 20 years to buy a house. After 5 years, you have no job because of COVID or everything. You have to be retrenched. Now you have no money to pay the bank, your monthly installment. So what the normal commercial bank do, they will now first will auction your house to get back their money, the 100,000. If they auction the house, you borrow for them 100,000, and if they auction the house, they get back only 50,000 from the lelong, from the auction. Then they will go against you to ask you to pay another 50,000 ringgit. If you cannot pay, they will make you a bankrupt. You have to learn to the bankrupt law lah, later on when you study. So what happened here is going to harm you, because once you go bankrupt, you cannot work, you cannot do anything. So it's very harmful to you, and some people commit suicide because of all these things. And some people divorce because the wife say, okay, you're bankrupt, you cannot give me anything to eat, the children. So a lot of harm happened to you, but not in the Islamic finance. So compare now again. If you borrow 100,000 from the Islamic finance, same thing, you pay, let's say monthly 1,000, 1,500. After 5 years, you, because of the COVID, everything, you are a job. So what happened now? Okay, fine. The bank will take your house and sell it off. Let's say now they sell it off, same like the commercial bank, they get only you 50,000 of the. So the balance 50,000, they cannot make you bankrupt because there's no law, Islamic law regarding bankrupt law. So you don't harm. There's no harm for you. After 5 years, you berhenti kerja, you don't have the jobs. The Islamic bank sell your house. That's it. You lose the house. But you can go walk, you can do other thing, find a thing to continue living. But they won't make you bankrupt. That limited your activities, that you cannot do a lot of things as a bankrupt. That one you can find out lah. Yeah. So here in the Islamic finance, they preserve you from harm. Yeah, you have to sell a house, but you're not going to bankrupt, you're not going to harm you. Okay. So this is one, the foundation of the legislation of the Maqasid Shariah. They, whatever you borrow from them, in the end of the day, you can't pay, they won't harm you. Yeah, as I give you the example just now. Number two, they are universals as their objective in trying to serve the needs of the interests of all. Well, the finance of the Islamic finance is universal. That means they finance everything. Everything as you can get in the commercial banking, they do the same financing. Universal. Except those four things that we mentioned earlier. There is gambling, riba, all these kind of things that they cannot involve. All those non-halal goods or illegal business. Yeah. Number three, inclusive or absolute, encompassing all human acts and respectively relate to ibadah or the muamalah. So this Islamic finance is part of your ibadah, is part of your religion. So if you borrow money from Islamic finance, you have the deeds. You will get the deed. Whereas if you borrow from the non-Islamic finance, you commit and sin. Yeah. So it's more like ibadah. I mean the financing itself is a part of the religion, part of the deeds that you can earn if you follow the Islamic banking. But if you take the non-Islamic banking, you are committing also a sin. Yeah. So this is what we're trying to say here. The Islamic finance is part of the ibadah or part or parcel of the religion. Yeah. Number 4, definitive as they have been taken from many different sources and not just from one single text of the evidence. So this Islamic finance, they already taken all the example from all the other banking system before they develop their own Islamic finance. So there's nothing that is new. They have given this as a definite as what the other people are doing too. So there's no difference between much of the product and services that given through this Islamic finance compared to the conventional finance. Yeah. Okay. Islamic banking product offered by Islamic Bank in Malaysia by business segment. Okay. Now just now we are talking on general, but now we are talking more specific in Malaysia because you are in Malaysia, you study in Malaysia, your life revolved in Malaysia initially. So what the government want to teach you is on the product that is available in the Malaysian Islamic Bank. But it's almost the same in other bank in other country. But here we focus on the Malaysian product available. Other country may have other products also which we don't have here. Yeah. So consumer segment same thing. Yeah, it's a deposit. Product name current account, saving account, staff deposit. It's a deposit lah. Yeah. So or just now I said that the Islamic name they call it wadiah account lah. Yeah, wadiah account. Credit card, yes. Islamic Bank also have the credit card. Sorry, at the end there you can see there. Current account we call it wadiah account, safekeeping. Saving account we call it mudarabah, profit sharing. Yeah. And staff deposit they call it Kad Asan, benevolent. Staff deposit account Kad Asan, benevolent. Anyway, this is more detail you can learn later on. Credit card, they have also credit card. They call it tabarruk. So in Islam, the credit card we call it tabarruk. Yeah? Again, they don't charge interest. They charge cost plus sale. Yeah, there are detail on how it happen, but just explain you. Financing. So as I said, there's house financing, but in Islam name they call it buy taman ajil, musyarakah. Yeah. So all these are in the Islamic name, but the same thing like the financing, housing financing, or kind of thing in the commercial bank. It's only the name different. Yeah? But definitely the contract, as I said, is much different lah because they cannot do harm to you, they cannot make you bankrupt or kind of thing. So the contract is different. I'm talking about the product. I mean, if conventional have housing finance, they also have housing finance. Yeah. If commercial bank have personal finance, here Islamic also have a personal finance. It's only the name they're different lah. Yeah, buy ina or kind of thing lah. Yeah. Vehicle finance, yes, you beli kereta, you buy motorcycle, everything. They also have. Islamic also have. Under BBA, they call it deferred payment sale. Yeah. Staff financing, yeah, they mean staff financing. In Islam also they have call it card finance. Card Asan. Card Asan actually staff financing in Islam. There's no interest, zero interest. Let's say a bank. Let's say if I am a college want to give staff financing to my staff, so I cannot charge interest. So they call it Kad Asan, free interest. Yeah, for personal financing. Then vehicle financing, yeah, they have it. Okay, then the corporate segment, this one is more consumer segment, or we call it personal financing. Corporate segment, we have the trade financing, trading activity, export, import, everything. So we have the name on the side, mudarabah, murabah. So there are many ways of doing it. How you want to do it, you can make a choose. You want to be mudarabah, profit sharing, you can maybe murabah, cost plus, or you want to do wakalah agency, agency, you appoint agent people. So they have the same trade finance. Asset-based financing, yeah. So asset-based, let's say you buy machine to produce product. So they will give you istisna or ijarah, same like the commercial leasing finance lah. Yeah. Okay. Then the last one, corporate investment. So they have it, corporate investment, profit sharing. Corporate investment is more like business lah, business activities lah. Yeah. So these are the main product that offered in Malaysia. Other country may have more, depend on the requirement of that country lah. Yeah. So for you, this is more than enough to learn lah. For your exam, this is more enough to cover. No need to bother other product from other country. Yeah. So three categories with Islamic banking institution. Number one, ordinary financial institution offering Islamic banking product and services, as you mentioned just now. Yeah. They offer product and services, same like the commercial bank. Then banking business, that mean you can go to the bank today, to the Islamic bank or the commercial bank, whatever transaction you want to do, to buy bank draft, to want to bank in money, to want to withdraw money. So they have this normal banking business. And then they have, just now we mentioned, their own Islamic banking product and services. Yeah? Difference between conventional and Islamic banking. This is a little bit more detailed, but I don't want to go into detail because just to let you know lah, what the difference, everything. As a student, you need to know, but don't worry if you're not going to ask this detail for your exam. But I give you this chart so that you can read, and from what I explained, you can understand. If you really don't understand this one, you can put in a forum any part you don't understand, that we still can give you the explanation, or we'll explain in the next class, which Madam Shari'ah will take it, and you can ask also lah. Yeah. But it's better to ask during the forum, so that during the class lecture we don't much of interaction, so that we don't waste time. Yeah. Again, this is another chart for you to know comparison of house financing product based on this mudarabah contract, and how they work about. This is more just to give you some idea, but you don't really need to understand too detailed. But I need to let you know these things are available. Yeah? Okay, Islamic banking product development. Most Islamic products are introduced as alternative conventional product. I mentioned from the beginning, the Islamic banking product is an alternative to the normal commercial product. Two, looking at the ever-changing dynamic environment. Islamic banks need to innovate and create new product in order to remain competitive. So the product that you see today, what we show you, by the time you finish your diploma or you're working, they may have other products already introduced by the Islamic bank. Yeah, because they need to compete with the commercial bank product and services they offer. Yeah, you can see in the commercial bank every day they can come this new product, this product that they're promoting. So Islamic banking is catching up with them also. So certain things that we don't teach you will see when you work, or maybe when you finish your diploma. The product must be attractive and appealing to individual and corporate alike. So they have to compete with the commercial bank. If their product is not attractive, their product is not benefit the people, nobody is going to go for Islamic banking. Yeah? So these things, one good, there are competition now. So last time it's a monopoly by the commercial bank. Now we have the Islamic banking, we have more competitive to the commercial bank. And for the Muslim, they have alternative, because whatever they do with the Islamic banking is part and parcel of their ibadah. Yeah, part and parcel of the deeds they're going to claim from Allah, from God. Compare if they bank it with the commercial bank. Yeah. Then last one, the advancement of technology and evolution of financial demand, that new product itself be introduced on timely. So Islamic bank also is catching up. They also have online banking lah, all kind of things lah, with the technology. This one, so catch up with the other banks. So they are not very far behind from the other commercial bank in terms of technology, in terms of product services, and all kind of thing. Yeah. Okay, these are legislation how the Islamic bank are regulated in Malaysia. Yeah. So here there are a lot of things to read, but just to summarize, everything same like the other commercial bank is all controlled by government through the Central Bank of Malaysia, or we call it in Bahasa Melayu Bank Negara Malaysia. So start from the licensing. So the bank Islam or non-Islam bank, they want to set a bank in Malaysia, they have to get the license from the Central Bank or Bank Negara. Every product they want to introduce to the people, for you everything, they have to develop and get the approval from the Bank Negara before they can offer to the public. Then and all the bank CEO, the chief executive officer of the bank, the manager of the bank must get approval from the Bank Negara before they can be appointed as a CEO of the bank or the manager of the bank. What I'm trying to say, if now I have a license to open a bank, tomorrow I want to appoint my manager, I just can appoint it. Cannot. I have to send the name to the Bank Negara, Central Bank, have to check their background, security check, everything. If they approve, then I only can appoint them as a manager. So it's a very strict regulation that the government controls so that should not have abuse and corruptions and all things happen. But as you see in the newspaper every day, things still happen. The bank manager is still doing corruption, all kind of things. You just imagine if just this one is not controlled by the bank, then the whole banking system is going to collapse because of corruption, because of abuse of power, and all kind of things. Yeah. So if you read newspaper, you read here and there are bank manager corruption taking money out here and there. That doesn't mean that the bank, the government through the central bank does not control. It control. Yeah, as you can see, there are policemen everywhere. They still thief, People go and steal things. Yeah, so that's what's happening in the outside there. But don't think that there's no law regulate this banking and their activities and their product. They cannot just simply sell you a product which sometimes not benefit the client, which only benefit the banks. Yeah, all must be approved by the central bank, Bank Negara, before they can offer to us. Okay, so Islamic finance, same. We have two parts. One is Islamic banking. The other one is Islamic insurance, or in Islam they call it Takaful. Okay, so there's another subtopic lah. It's not as big as the bank, but as the other commercial, you see also there's a bank, there's an insurance. This two in one. Yeah, you cannot have a bank without an insurance because it does not complete the whole financial services. That's why here we said you read your topic is in Islamic financial services. We don't talk the subject Islamic banking. So Islamic financial services is include the bank, is include takaful, and then many other things which not at the moment available. But in future, if anything relate to finances, either through the bank or takaful or other way of finances, that still we call it under financial services. Same like the conventional also, there are financial services. They don't call it banks or insurance per se, because there are many other things that is related to finances that the people use it, so they call it financial services. So, but for this subject, the government only allow us to teach you the basic one, the banking and the insurance. Yeah. So the word takaful mean joint guarantee. So in Islam, the insurance or takaful, they call it takaful, is a joint guarantee. It's not like the commercial bank. Yeah, different. You can see later on. The objective of takaful is cooperation and mutual help among members of the defined group. Yeah. So takaful is like cooperative lah. You know, the like people do the cooperative. they raise money to work together for benefit of a group, not for the one party. Yeah. In practical sense, Takaful can be visualized as a method of joint guarantee among group of members or participants against loss or damage that may inflict upon any of them. Yeah. For example, everybody put in money to tabung lah, like say tabung. You keep money, all keep. Every community keep. Suddenly, one of the house community got burned. So they will use this money to rebuild back the house. So that is the basic concept of insurance or takaful. Yeah. So I hope you understand the concept. Okay. If you don't understand, can ask more lah. Yeah. The members of the group agree to guarantee jointly, and should any of them suffer a catastrophe or disaster, as I mentioned just now, if that group keep the money together in the village, suddenly one house burn, they will use that part of money or certain money to build back the house for the members just now, which has the house burned down. Yeah? So all members of the group pool together. I said pull the money together in the effort to support the needy among them. So it's like cooperative lah. Kalau dulu kampung-kampung dia cakap main kutu lah. You Melayu punya mungkin main kutu lah. You keep the money, so next month you get, the next month you get. The kutu system lah. For the local Malays, maybe, Malaysian understand what I'm trying to say lah. Yeah. But foreign student, I don't know. For a Filipino student in Philippines, how they use this kutu system or village cooperative, we don't know what the name. But every country have it. Yeah. So now there is more on the kutu system is more on non-registered kind of cooperative among the village. Here they make it a proper regulation, a proper structure, so that a lot of things can be monitored by the government, as though they're monitoring the bank. Because if those do in the village, sometimes people may run with the money, all kind of things. So that's the risk. So that's why they have a proper structure. So we call it insurance, or in Islam insurance, we call it takaful. Okay, so insurance in Malaysia. Interesting that here, I just want to explain to you, maybe we didn't explain earlier on. In Malaysia, I don't know whether the first chapter I explained, but in Malaysia, there are two types. I think there's a chapter there. There is two types of bank and insurance. One, new banks. I think new bank, that Bank Islam, Bank Muamalat kind of things. It's new bank licensed by the government to run fully Islamic bank. But there's another happening in Malaysia. All the commercial bank are also given another license to run as a Islamic bank. So that's why now you can see Maybank. And then you can see Maybank Islamic. It still belongs to Maybank, but they have another license to run as a Islamic bank. Yeah. So hopefully you can really differentiate. Some they do two in one. In the same bank, they said this is a commercial bank, Standard Chartered commercial bank. Another section of them, this is Standard Chartered Islamic bank. But some big bank like Maybank, they totally have a separate branch. This is Maybank commercial bank, and then they put Maybank Islamic. Yeah. So same thing like this insurance. Insurance also, we can see number one, AIA, American International Insurance. They've been here in Malaysia 50 years. The first insurance company from America is here more than 50 years or so. But now, since the government giving license to do Islamic insurance, they also apply to the government to run the insurance Islamic way. So the AIA also have another section running the insurance Islamic insurance. They call it AIA Public Takaful Sdn Bhd. Same like just now the commercial bank. So that's why this one I leave with you. But for the say MetLife, this is M Bank. M Bank, they have their M insurance, but they also the Takaful. But for Etika Takaful Murad, this is like the bank is now, the Islamic bank is now, the Bank Islam Berhad. They totally 100% only Islamic bank. They don't do the commercial bank. So insurance like Etika Takaful Murad, this one they only the license, new license the government give to them only to run Takaful Berhad. they're not running the conventional insurance because they are new. But like M-Bank, AIA, they have their early on the conventional insurance, so they have a new insurance. Great Eastern also here for the last 30 years, 40 years. So they apply another license, Great Eastern Takaful. So they are running also Islamic insurance. So same thing lah, the whole thing there you can see. Yeah. So there's a little bit to understanding the difference between here and there. Yeah. So these are list of Takaful insurance in Malaysia lah currently. So, as an overall Islamic banking and Takaful, is to compete at a level playing field with other financial institutions. Compete with the conventional bank. Islamic bank would need to be competitive, and this means producing and having more innovative products that meet the demands of the individual and business. This is all I already mentioned. The Islamic product developed must comply not only with Shariah requirement, but also with the country registration guideline and circular. So, important here to explain a little bit. For the non-Islamic bank or financial institution, they only have to comply with the Malaysian government rule that is run through the central bank. But for the Islamic bank and Takaful, they have two laws to comply. One is the laws by the government, the other one laws by the Islamic religion. Yeah. So there is a difference between the conventional and the Islamic financial institution. Yeah. Think can clear, not clear, that's fine. You can still put in the forum and we'll explain further. Yeah. But this is very important. This point very important. We may even ask you in the question in the exam. What is the difference between the Islamic bank and Takaful than the commercial bank? What is the one of the main difference? So you have to put this as an answer. Islamic financial system need to follow two regulations. One is the Islamic law, one is the government law. Conventional bank financial institution, they only comply with the government law. Because this kind of thing we need to understand, to ask you. Another second question popular to ask, do Islamic financial banking, insurance, all this only meant for a Muslim? As I mentioned to you earlier, this is banking, all Islamic product is not only for Muslim, but for universal. Anybody can borrow. Yeah. So these are normally we will ask the question so that to make sure the student understand the thing. Yeah. So we'll give you a little bit tip as we go along. Not to worry about your exam. Yeah. But these are the things that we may ask because this is important for you to understand. We have met a lot of people. A lot of people have met. They are always thinking that Islamic bank finance only for a Muslim. This is where the wrong misconception. That's why now the government asks us to teach from the school already, from the college, about this concept so that you don't get mixed up, you get wrong. Then in your life daily, you don't understand the situation. Then you lose the opportunity. Maybe the Islamic bank offer a better deal than the commercial bank because you thought you're non-Muslim, you don't apply, so you lose the opportunity, which the government don't want it to happen. Yeah, so that's why we are teaching you now. Conclusion? Okay. Conclusion, we go back to our learning objective just now. Number one, Islamic contract must comply with the Shariah and prohibits the four things. Yeah. First, you must be using the Shariah law and also the government law lah. Yeah. And which is prohibit the Shariah law, prohibit riba. That means no interest. That means no uncertainty. That means no issue, no gambling, and then no trading in non-halal activities. Yeah. So these are the four main tenets of the Shariah law for the Islamic finances. Sharia is the Islamic law of human conduct which governs business matters. So Sharia law is in Islam there are many laws, family law, other kind of law, criminal law also they have. So everything is there mentioned in the Quran where the God reveal it. So Sharia law is the govern on the business matter only. Yeah. Family law, they have another kind of family law. Criminal law also we have in the criminal law in Islam. Yeah? Civil law, there are also civil law in Islam. Same like the normal law. But for the business, so we call it Shariah, Islamic law. Okay. Then Maqasid Shariah, again, what is Maqasid? The terms, means and goal of the Shariah. The Shariah law just now on the Islamic banking. So what is their main goal? So this is what we tend to say. The Maqasid Shariah. The goal of the Shariah Islamic law on the business. This is, they call it Maqasid lah. Yeah? It's not difficult to understand. Yeah? And then the last one is the Takaful, is the cooperation and mutual help among members of defined group. So maybe a little bit difficult concept like the non-Muslim insurance, like other insurance, they don't have this concept. They still have the insurance to cover any loss and everything. But in this Takaful insurance, the main difference, if you keep all the money together, and let's say for take example, there are 1,000 people put to buy the Takaful insurance, and none of the 1,000 people, the house got burned. Let's say the insurance for house lah, yeah, insurance the car, house, everything, yeah? But we take about house lah. So if there's no burn in the house, so there's a lot of money there. Correct or not? Everybody buy the insurance. So what they do there, they give back the money to all of them. Yeah, but the non-Muslim insurance, no, they don't give back. They take the money all taken by the owner of the insurance. But Takaful, no. I have many ways, many times I keep the money. Suddenly after 10 years, they give a lot of money to me. I say, where did the money come from? Oh, because last time you buy the Takaful, your house already didn't burn, so we don't use any money for you. So there's no risk. Now you take back your money. They take little bit for the administration, but the whole profit money give back to you. Whereas the non-Muslim one, the money, if anything happen, nothing more claim, the money all goes to the owner of the insurance. That's two different things lah. Yeah. So definitely, that's why people like to buy Takaful, even the non-Muslim, because at least they got a chance at the end of the day, they still get the money back. Whereas you buy the other insurance, you don't get anything back. But if your house burn or your vehicle lost, are they replaced? That's for sure lah. That's for replaced. Yeah, that's for sure. But you don't get anything if you don't have any loss. That's the difference within the. So that's why I show people buy the Islam Takaful. If you know, but if you don't know, you still, especially if you're non-Muslim, you don't know, you thought that you are not entitled for the Islam Takaful. You say buy the other one, then you lose the opportunity. That's why now the government want us to teach the student from now, so that when you want to go outside after your school, when you're working, you know where to make a choice. Right? No need to ask people. We already teach you here. That's why your benefit to become our student. Yeah. So that's a conclusion for this chapter, and we'll for the class, Madam Cheryl will go through with you all the slide back again. I really advise you go to the forum, go to chat room. I will post question there to get more of your understanding, so that easy for me to teach the next class, because every student have a different understanding. If I teach too fast, if I teach too fast, too high, then certain of you cannot follow. So from the question you ask me back, from the feedback you give back, then I know where your level. So I can go lower or I can go higher. If everything can you understand this level, I'll go a little bit higher so that you get better benefit from my teaching. But if I teach this level and you already cannot understand, I have to go lower so that you understand. Yeah, because teaching is not specific. It's all depend on the student and the lecturer and the college policy. That's why we at private college, we are very flexible to help the student to make sure they understand. It's no point that we teach you to understand. It's not the way. It's not the way what the government wants us to do. Because that's why those who got to the study in the government, especially the Malaysian, they are the good result students. So their teaching is different way. Here the students are not that very good result, so we have to teach according to your level. So not to worry that if you say you don't understand. Yeah, I can. You don't understand, I even can teach two language. Yeah, Bahasa Melayu and English. But we have some foreign students here. I cannot talk too much of Bahasa Melayu. They may not understand. But on exam, we cannot, because our college, we already make the choice. All examination, all certificate must be English. So in Malaysia, you can make a choice. Either you want to run your college in the national language, Bahasa Melayu, or English. I choose English because I'm bringing also foreign student. And for the Malaysian, it's good for you to study through English, because in case you want to go overseas, you want to further study overseas, or you want to go overseas, you start your brushing your English when you start studying with us, before you too late. Yeah. So it's not, our English is not, we're talking about very high in English, just a normal English, so teaching. And very easy of you. Every one of you have a phone, you can download your dictionary there. Any damn word you don't understand, you just put dictionary, they give you the explanation. Not like us before. My time, I have to bring take dictionary all around just to find out is anything I don't understand. Today I see on TV one word I don't understand, I just check one, immediately I get to understand. So learning now is become very easier. If you don't make use of this, I'm very sorry. Our time is much difficult to learn. Yeah. So that's basically, I'm the CEO of East West College. I own this college, my family one. So you are assured that anything your problem, you give to my attention, we will immediately respond and solve the problem. We don't need to wait weeks or years to solve your problem. Yeah. So you can even ask through the forum, anything, or you can WhatsApp me. My telephone is 017 848-1999. I repeat again, 017 848-1999. So you can WhatsApp me anytime. I can immediately respond, or through the, you can also send it through the forum. Yeah. So we will want you to enjoy, to increase your knowledge, and please understand whatever we teach you is for your benefit, for you to use it in your daily life. Don't think it's only for exam. Exam is one part of it only, but the knowledge you must get as much from what we teach you, for your own good, for your to live after you left the school, and also in case you need to go for your degree and master later on. This knowledge is a base. If this base you don't study properly, then later on when you want to take your bachelor or so on, it's very difficult. I can assure you that. So now you got a chance to study at a slow pace, everything. Try to understand, build up your base now as much as possible, so that when this base is strong, like you're building a house, when you build a house, it's very strong. You can build 1 story, you can build 2 story, you can build 3 story, 5 story, or flats. So here is the best time for you to build your base. Whatever you don't understand, please, we are open to help you anytime. We'll hope one of these days the government allowed you all to come back study in the college. We are here to welcome you, because our college is a full-time college. It's not online college. Yeah, we are not online university, not online. It's just that we have to do online now because of this COVID. But when it's over, when the government, we would like you to come here, so that you easier for you maybe to do study more face to face. But for the time being, we have no choice. Even the primary school also now study at home. So no complaint now at the moment. But lucky we still can continue. If really government close, you cannot study here and there's no online class, then everybody is wasting time at the house. Okay, thank you very much. We'll get Madam Cheryl to do the second lecture next week. I'll continue to do my recording for the other lectures. Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, again, I am open. Anything you can ask me. Yes, I am the owner of the college. I'm running the college. We already run for 13 years. We also now franchise for UITM. So we have also UITM student in our college. For like time when you can study here, you can meet also student from University Technology MURAD, which is study in our place. Okay, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Pause.